Hello, it's a pleasure coming your way as always. Today I bring you a very quick one, very quick one with respect to UK universities admissions application documentations. You recall a video I did in this regard. I told you, and I made a specific reference to master's programs or a master's program. By way of recap, in case you may have forgotten, I said that you need the basic documentation you need are your transcripts, your first degree transcripts in this case, your certificates, your first degree certificate. That is, if you want to pursue a master's program in the UK, your degree certificates. You also need your statement of purpose. You need your references or your referees, and then you need your English language proficiency certificate or test as well. Get it right. I am not an admission expert and have never claimed to be one. What I do is that I take your documents, I take your documentations, and then forward it to the people who matter, the admissions experts. What they do is that they are the official representatives of the universities. So what they do is to directly correspond with the universities. They make sure they secure you the admission with the right documentations, guide you through the entire process till your visa is ready. So that is what they do. And guess what? They do so without any cost. So in case you are interested in pursuing a higher education in the UK, a master's program for that matter, uh, you can talk to me in that direction. I take your documents, forward it to them. They work on them, secure admissions with the right documentation at no fee at all. So that's it. Why is it necessary to come your way once again with documentation? We are experiencing a particular paradigm, a shift with respect to this year's documentation, and particularly on the English language proficiency test. Note that UK demands an English language proficiency, certificate, because the medium of instruction in all universities, at all universities in the UK, is English language. So they expect that you are able to, you should have some level of fluency with respect to English language. Good. I said in my previous presentation that though Ghana is not an English-speaking country, yes, Ghana is not an English-speaking country, but our medium of instruction at all levels of education is English language. And so the expectation is that once you have gone through the process of education from primary, through uh, junior high school through junior high school, senior high school to university, you should be able to cope with any program involving the use of English language as a medium of instruction. That fact was established. And again, our official language in Ghana is English language because that is what the government uses uh, in all its communications. So these are facts we established. And indeed, at the time, and even today, uh, they are valid. Now, why is it necessary to come your way? Why is it necessary this evening to come your way once again about these documentations? I told you we are experiencing a paradigm shift. The shift is that universities in the UK are trying to prioritize WASSCE ahead of your English language certificate, your English language proficiency certificate that is provided by your university. Yes. And so what we have noticed basically is that uh, some people are being denied admission admission, in spite of having provided an English language certificate from the universities they attended. Yes, and I think this is a very worrying trend. Instead, what they are accepting as a replacement of your English language certificate, English language proficiency or English language certificate, is your WASSCE or your SSCE. So that is the shift we are experiencing. Now the feedback we get from universities is that universities refuse you on grounds, and so when you have applied for admission, and they are giving you a decision, they state the reasons for not admitting you, and that is what we are getting, and I think it is very worrying. So what the universities suggest instead is that they organize internal, they either organize in you either write an IELTS, that is the International English Language Testing System. So a system, that also tests your ability in the various language skills, listening, speaking, writing, and then listening, speaking, writing, and the other. Good. So they recommend that you write the IELT, or some universities organize courses, English language courses. So you take their course, make sure that you have passed before you are admitted to their university. And I think this is a very disturbing trend. Good. Now, what must you get in your WASSCE before you get this admission? What must you get in your WASSCE as a substitute for English language proficiency letter provided by your school, or an IELT, or the courses, the internal courses, internal English language courses they organize in their schools, before passing you, passing you for admission. You should get a credit. You should get a minimum of a credit in your SSCE or WASSCE. So if it is the WASSCE, then we are talking about the various divisions of a C, the various strengths of a C. It's either you had a C4, or you had a C5, or you had a C6. All of them constitute, are interpreted as credits. Or if you went through the old system, where that is the SSCE, then you should get a D, a minimum of a D. So this is what we are noticing currently. So even if you do not have an English language proficiency letter from your university, and you had a D, you wrote the SSCE, you had a D, or you wrote the WASSCE and you had any of the categories of a C, they prefer that one. They prefer either of the two to a letter provided by the school, by your university, attesting to your ability to cope with the English language requirements of the school. Now you ask, why is this necessary? Why is this information necessary? This information is necessary not only for today. In fact, today it is necessary because you are able to keep pace with current demands of your university, your prospective university, and for future applicants. IELTS is expensive, to write. In Ghana terms, it is quite expensive to write, and then you also wouldn't want to go through these internal exams organized by universities before you are admitted. And so to be able to escape all these difficult hurdles, to be able to escape all these difficult hurdles, why don't you take advantage? Why don't you take you are a future student. You plan to study in the UK in the future. Why don't you take advantage of any of the private and take advantage of the private WASSCE, private WASSCE examination, and better yourself before attempting to apply, and in order to avoid this disappointment. Because I have, as I currently speak, I have with me documentations of two people, uh, whose feedbacks I have. And then one of them did very well, generally did very well uh, in WASSCE than the other, but the one who did better than the other didn't get a credit in English language. So the one uh, that had a relatively you know, lower grades has been admitted on grounds of his credits in English language. And so these things are becoming very real. If you are bent on pursuing a higher education in the UK, these are some of the things you should take note of. Your WASSCE is being used as a replacement of your English language uh, certificate. You don't have an IELTS, you don't have a TOEFL, or you don't have any of the recommended certifications. And these universities are developing an affinity for WASSCE, instead of the English language proficiency letter issued by your university. Please take note of this so that you do not get disappointed in the future as you gear up to pursue your higher education in the UK dream. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you some other time. Bye.